back to our socially responsible investments video series. I just wanted to give a quick precursor prior to this episode. We were supposed to release our greenwashing episode this week, but due to some technical difficulties, that will be released in 2 weeks. And today's episode will be on social diversification. So we hope you enjoyed the new episode 8, social diversification.
Hello and welcome back to our socially responsible investment video series. My name is Brad Wilson, financial advisor with KLT Wealth Management, and I'm joined by my colleague, Courtney Beach, qualified associate financial planner. Today is episode 9, and we are going to touch on the topic of social diversification in your socially responsible investment portfolio. So Courtney, I think if you can give a definition, talk a little bit more about some of the impacts that social diversification has in the space today.
Yeah, so social diversification is definitely a hot topic in the news right now, and it's something that is becoming more prevalent at looking at when it comes to finances and business sector. So when we talk about social diversification, we're talking about employees and the executives as well. So we're looking at things like gender, ethnicity, religion, race, LGBTQ+, etc., and how they are represented within companies and their comfort level with the companies, their safety within the companies as well. So just to give you an idea, starting with females, for instance, females was definitely a big push in the years past, and is still something that companies and the industries are working towards. As of when you have female board members, just on a financial impact for investors, it does reduce negative impact when crises do happen within a company, and it's statistically proven to be that way. Right now, all the companies on the TSX have at least one board member that is female, which is a great improvement from what it was. And U.S. companies that have at least 3 women on their board saw a median change in their return on equity of 10% and the earnings per share of positive 37%, and that's a statistic from 2016. So when there is diversity with females, it improves the return for investors. So Brad, maybe you want to talk about how diversity, race and ethnic diversity can impact investors' portfolio positively as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the general consensus when it comes to social diversification in business and companies of all sorts is that it's a positive impact on them. So moving towards a more diverse workforce, diverse workplace at all levels is extremely important. And you're seeing companies getting caught up in scandals where they haven't had proper diversification. They're seen to be excluding one race or another. You can see Starbucks actually had a scandal where they lost 32.7 million following a scandal, racism scandal. And at the end of the day, we're realizing that diversification, especially racial and ethnic diversification, increases corporate performance. It accelerates innovation. You're able to attract top talent, identify new markets, you reduce turnover, you improve your reputation, and just overall, you're improving the environment at your workforce by improving your diversification at all levels. It's also been proven, these stats according to Diversio, that corporate revenues increases by approximately 2.4% for every 1% increase in ethnic diversity. So it's great to see. And on a Canadian level, as Courtney mentioned with women, there's still ways to go. We've seen progress with the women on all the boards of the TSX companies, but there's still lots of room for improvement. Same thing with diversity, racial and ethnic diversity in Canada. When you look at you'll see the stats on the screen right now, but when you look at the percentage population of Black and Indigenous Canadians versus the executives, C-suite being CEOs, CFOs, all the different C-level executives, the Black and Indigenous executive percentage is a lot lower than the representation amongst the Canadian population. So there is definitely a large discrepancy there that needs improvement. And moving more towards that, these topics are a lot more prevalent right now. So we're hopefully making some progress now, but by these stats, you're still seeing that there is a large gap and still need for further in improvement when it comes to social diversification.
Yeah, so we talked about females and we talked about different diversity when it comes to ethnicity and race, but when it comes to other factors within our population, such as gender identity, LGBTQ plus, abilities or disabilities, etc., it's a little more difficult to find the statistics to see if we're improving or not improving, because people within some of these communities have to self-identify. It isn't obvious that they're part of these communities, and they don't necessarily feel comfortable that they identify themselves as being part of these communities. So there is work to improve the statistics that we do have, making people feel comfortable maybe reporting to third parties and such like that, so that we can improve the diversity. We have seen that diversity within females and ethnicity does improve the environment, but it also improves the numbers and the performance of companies. So it stands to reason that if we open up the borders and for people of these other minority groups, that it will do so as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, it's very prevalent, and we're seeing more specific funds now when it comes to social diversification. I think the one that stands out right now, and I think we'll see more in the coming years, but there's a Women in Leadership Fund right now that exists where they target female majority board of directors or female-led companies with CEOs. So it's great to see that we're trending in that direction, and hopefully there's some greater improvement on those statistics and on funds that are targeting more social diversification. So if you have any questions when it comes to these types of funds or social diversification in portfolios or certain socially responsible investments, feel free to reach out. We'd be happy to answer any questions. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you shortly.